Hello and welcome.
That better?
That's better, right? Ah,
Works
ooh,
now.
works now. You love to see it.
Right.
Hello.
Professional streamers.
Boom, got it done. Just like we drew it up. Chief. Hello and welcome to the Crimbus stream, glorious Crimbus stream. We're off to a great start. 2024, here we go, ringing out the year with a vengeance.
We've been trying to get the patch done right up until the last second.
No, it was done way, way,
Yes.
way ahead of time. This was no
And all
problem.
the leeway in the world.
I wasn't worried. I was never worried. Hello and welcome, Haven and Hearth, havenandhearth.com. Now also on Steam. I am your friend and co-host Björn, also known as Yorb on the forums, and this is
Also the friend, I guess, and main host, Loftar.
for sure, known as
It's particularly funny when I repeat the joke.
exactly. So we've already said all of these things once, but so maybe you can recognize some of the mimicry and the motions, but you clearly missed the audio there. So now we are rocking. So I recall last stream we did was very intensive in terms of things actually happening on screen. It was us two up in the corner, sitting back talking, and doing nothing with the actual.
Yes,
video
of
capture,
course, makes perfect sense.
which was terribly engaging. I can only assume. So hi, hello, welcome. Good to see you all. So what's up? How are we doing? The stream is indeed not broadcasted on Steam. Maybe it should have been.
Didn't even think of that, to be honest.
Indeed, did not even think of it. But we'll think of it next time.
Perhaps. If I remember.
Lord willing. So yeah, welcome. What a year. What a reset. Damn, what a wild time we have had.
A bit at least.
It has been kind of crazy these past months since we did the Steam launch and the World 16 reset. And here we are now. What is it? 2 months in, roughly? Not really.
No, it's not quite, but almost.
Yeah, thereabouts.
6 weeks or so.
6 weeks.
7 weeks.
7 weeks. Yeah, 7 was the number I had in my head. Yeah, things have been going really, really wonderfully with the game, haven't they? Haven't they?
Oh, well, I guess it depends on who you ask, but...
It depends on who you ask, to be certain. Chat, what are your feelings? How's the game been? I thought we had a pretty fun launch.
Indeed.
And we broke all records, literally, almost. Pretty much all records. The store record was broken.
The user number records were certainly broken.
Concurrent user number was broken.
The cumulative user numbers were even more broken.
The Cumulus cloud broke.
Indeed.
So expect light rains, I suppose. But it's been a lot of fun. And I thought the feedback has been pretty generous as well. Overall,
I have been quite surprised at us staying almost on very positive reviews on Steam.
I was going to say
I really was expecting Haven to be a more polarizing game in reviews.
For sure, I was certainly prepared for mixed reviews, but
yes.
we've been up, kind of sniffing at very positive actually. So
and now we are of course perpetually stuck at 79%, where 80% gives.
So 80% positive reviews would give us very positive, whereas now we are at like
79.9%.
Exactly, which is like mostly positive, which is so if you have it in your heart to go and give us a rave review over at Steam.
Great way to lower it to 70%.
Exactly. So if you really want to troll us, Alec, not mentioning any particular names, then feel free to do that. But that's been a lot of fun. And I also another observation that I've made is that it's been kind of fun to watch the negative reviews, because almost all of them, or a large percentage of them, start with, "This is a great game. I love this game, but I can't recommend it to anyone because there are other people in there who steal my shit." At that point, I can at least feel that okay, they didn't like one of the kind of fundamental design decisions, and I can be fine with that. That's fine. Like them not liking the game is not their cup of tea. Whatever.
And like I said, I was completely expecting worse reviews because no matter how good Haven of course is subjectively and eternally, and I would expect it to be polarizing for sure. It's not for everyone.
Definitely, it's not everyone's cup of tea. So yeah, those are some of my first kind of impressions. Is chat saying anything interesting? Why does Steam expect you to moderate swastikas?
I don't think they do.
I'm not sure.
Hetzner, however, has.
Yeah, some people with which we are affiliated do, but I don't think Steam hasn't given me the impression. There are a lot of games, if you kind of browse the Steam catalog, which are, like Hitler, my best friend and stuff. So I don't
they
really.
Don't seem terribly bothered.
They don't seem too uppity on the content moderation. That being said, there's of course an open question whether we should moderate it, and to some extent we kind of have to moderate it, I think, given the vagaries. But yeah, let's talk about something more fun.
Indeed. Yes, this.
So, yeah. Yeah, and we had a couple of good patches, I felt we struck out on fairly strong directions with the patching after the world reset. I think
I have had that impression as well.
I think some of the stuff that we've done was fairly appreciated and well received. We added extra pouch slots. There's of course the ongoing debate now whether the pouch slots are the mandatory water slots. In fact,
but I have more and more gotten the impression that they in fact aren't. So
indeed,
it might be fine.
Because I am now rocking the double jugs, if you know what I mean.
Right.
If you know what I mean. Giggity. But yeah, I was double Creel for life for a long time there. So it was mostly Creel for the longest time.
Wouldn't you want two different things? Under all circumstances?
I don't know, fam. It's like a good question. At some point I feel that I want to drop, because usually early game I have a bucket to drink from, because Cuxa is like whatever, and Woodcup is like whatever, and all the other options are like whatever, so bucket it is. And at some point I feel I want to drop the bucket. I don't want to have the bucket as a necessary accoutrement
that makes a lot of sense.
My gear, because I want to wield pickaxes and such. So one can certainly debate the whole setup there. I think like one question one can perpetually have is whether the running while drinking nonsense is working as intended. How do you feel, chat? Is running while drinking actually, in actual fact, good gameplay? Maybe it is. We're going to take Rudolph for a little bumbling spin here around the ice and the waters. But yeah, what else did we do? We upgraded alchemy a fair bit with the.
Yeah, right. We did.
We added so that you learn the kind of discrete elixir.
Keep the yap to minimum.
But
what are you here for?
Exactly.
It's not the yap.
That's what we do. What are you yapping? Yeah, well, we should be showing the cool gameplay and talk less, I suppose. Need to stop browsing 9gag. I don't know what 9gag is.
I also hardly know what 9gag is.
Is it like 8chan plus?
No, it's some kind of weird meme site, meme image site. I've never actually used it.
Okay, cool.
I just know it exists.
All right.
And it's looked down upon.
Okay, it's frowned upon by all
it is looked upon with disapproval
and disdain by all the cool kids on the internet.
Indeed.
I used to be young and promising, and now I'm only promising. So, Austin224 says, Alchemy changes were great, and I thank you greatly for this. Thank you. You are welcome, sir. I'm glad to hear it.
Indeed.
We have, I think there's a lot more, because another one of the complaints that we've gotten a fair amount on the Steam reviews, the Steam reviews I've actually found to be mildly helpful, because I get the sense that at least a fair percentage of them are kind of genuine first impression type stuff.
Indeed.
And the UI, of course, has gotten its fair share of flack and feedback.
It has.
But
it hasn't been particularly clear on exactly what.
No, exactly. A lot of the reviews are like, well, the GUI is terrible.
And no more details.
And it's like rarely significant more detail, at least added, I felt.
I'm glad we have movement on the screen now that you are hopping around the around the building.
I find this quite engaging. It's like we could zoom away, but and here is a mean wicked. We just did the screenshot for the little patch mod that we're gonna drop later on, so we can all speculate as to what some of these things are, apart from the general Yule type chaos that we have going on screen. So there are some pretty ballers hints, I should say, about the content of the upcoming patch. But I actually figured that before we push the patch, I'm going to ask chat if there are any quick fixes that you would like to see that we could do here and now together as a team before we push the patch. So we're going to talk about that. And then
remove all the speed buffs indeed.
And then we're gonna do the patch. And if you cannot take that seriously, sir, then I'm just gonna push the patch anyway. So think of this as an opportunity. If you want to come along for the joyful ride, we're gonna go for a joyful ride through the Winter Wonderland first, though. I'm gonna add a marker here, such that I can recall where I was, because that's gonna be hopeless otherwise. I'm not sure I'm going to get Rudolph out of here, to be honest. There we go. I'm free. So what's up, chat? How you been? How's your world reset been? How's life going? Christmas again, huh? 2024. I actually browsed back over the past couple of years of Crimbus patches.
Right.
And yeah, and in some ways we've come a long way. It's been a lot going on, a lot happening. We added like way back when, and like some implementations which in my mind are still relatively new are actually are starting to grow ancient. Like for example, the ant dungeon has been in game since like 2018 by now.
Right.
So
it always surprises me that we added the ant dungeon the same year we added the other dungeons. I could have sworn there was several years between, but
no.
Here we are.
There we are, apparently. I watch with which True Eyes says, "Hi, Merry Christmas. Loving your game. This is my first world."
Well, Merry Christmas to you too, then.
Indeed, Merry Christmas. Glad to hear it. Love to see that you are enjoying the game. Very welcome to it. Please watch out for the bad guys in the game, which who can hurt you. I thought this was pretty neat as well. The little ridge outliner that we added.
Oh, right.
Wasn't that pretty neat, chat? Can you not? Because now when you rotate, you can actually see the ridge. I think that's mildly helpful. If I could turn it off, you would kind of realize that there's pretty much just a discrete drop here if we don't have this nice little outline. I thought that was quite helpful.
It's a long time coming.
It is a long time coming. Because we actually had some sort of indicator for that way back in the Salem days.
Yeah, indeed. But that specific implementation was built on the fact that those ridges were, there were some who who were reminded of Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. Which is funny because Salem was also right in the kind of the years when Minecraft was exploding.
Fair enough. True.
So, yeah. The Moonglow Cat says, would it be possible to give the ability to build Valhalla mega building for Realm founders? Would be really cool, in my opinion, as a sort of a keep for a ruler to live in. Oh! Person in chat wants to build the mega building in Valhalla. I understand. No, that would not be possible. That would be,
it is not currently built in a model that would allow that.
Exactly.
But
because the
freeform building when, I guess.
Freeform building when, I guess. Indeed, that's the real question. And I suppose the Yeah, the Valhalla building is actually just a bunch of Great Halls stitched together,
Yeah.
and a bunch of Great Hall parts stitched together, defying all rules of normal placement.
Indeed.
So, and arguably too large to be placed in a single
As a
swoop,
single object.
as a single object, and too large for the kind of map grid object size limits that we have in the game as well.
Mhm.
So there's that. But it would be kind of cool to have bigger objects,
It would for sure.
because we have Knars are some of the biggest
Knars and
objects.
whales.
Knars and whales, and it would arguably be cool to up the ante and go even bigger,
Mhm.
up to 9,000. So here's some Christmas jollity. If we can get a good look on it, it spawned naturally here. Ah, there's some strange new growth in this tree here. Whatever could it be that is growing in this tree? You'll have to pick one. It is a Yule cracker. That is freaking amazing.
Quality 1, really?
Why is quality 1?
Why is it quality 1 indeed?
Is it capped by survival? That would make sense
Oh,
because
yes,
it is an herb, and
yes, indeed,
my
indeed.
survival is 1 on this one.
That explains it then.
That would actually explain it perfectly. So that makes a lot of sense. So so now during Christmas season, you can find little Christmas Yuletide crackers in the trees, along with the icy popsy
Candy canes.
candy canes.
You know, the icy popsy.
icy popsy candy. Here we go. Stackable candy canes. When? That's actually a good call. They're herbs. They're herbs, fam. Make them stackable. I'm gonna make a note of that in the patch my notes. Now he's like, oh, candy cane is now stackable. While we are on the subject, eggs stackable, yes, chat, you agree, right? Eggs should be stackable.
But that's absurd, though.
No,
No,
they should stack 4 high. Look, one egg in a little pyramid, and then another egg on top. Perfect. Columbi egg. You know the story about Columbus and the egg?
Yes, I do indeed.
Indeed.
But,
and people
but
and people said it can't be done. But Columbus proved that it can be done.
Yes, but he did so by breaking the egg.
He lightly tapped it.
He broke it.
No.
He broke it.
Chat, he didn't break it. No. Come on, egg stackable for sure. Eating all the mushrooms has a good one. Can we please cut standing grass with scythes? Please and thank you.
Yeah, would perhaps be nice, and I see no principal reason against it, but it's not a simple and quick fix.
Can't do that, I'm afraid, chat. It's not a simple fix. I'm gonna make a little note of the non-simple fixes and right here. Standing grass, cut double. James 12 says, would it be possible to get snow to fall and change the landscape earlier? Winter is so short now that it's barely white. Also, we need new soothing winter music. I think you are right here. Winter is too short right now.
It is.
It barely even appears before it's gone. So, yes. Romano Kira says, egg box 2x1 which can hold 10 eggs. I mean, it makes a terribly large amount of sense.
It does, doesn't it?
So I wouldn't necessarily mind. But also, I shall reiterate my point that Columbus did indeed prove that eggs can be stood on their ends, as it were. So, come on, man. Come on, surely we can. It's Christmas. Surely we can make eggs stack.
frankly, you need egg cartons for this.
But egg cartons...
Eggs is... I mean, if there's any item that does not make sense that it stacks, it is surely eggs. Surely. If there's any item that would make sense for it not to stack. If eggs stack, then what precedent are we setting? What does not stack at that point? Everything, infinite capacity. Huh?
It's funny. Did y'all see this? This was pretty cool. This is a little eraser that someone near and dear to me gave me. It's made in the. It's just an eraser. Wonderful sharpness here on the, but it says Das Kapital. It's kind of funny. Trinket I got. Okay, egg cartons. But the thing is, egg cartons would be a hassle, though.
And then it would.
Absolute hassle.
And then it would.
Could we make the egg cartons stack?
I would be less opposed to that.
We'll see. Maze Owen says inventory slot on anvil for hammer, so I can stockpile the hammer and anvil together. Obviously not an entirely trivial fix, at least, but I see what you mean. But then at that point, no one ever needs to equip the hammer. So equipping the hammer.
I don't think that's the point at all. To be actually honest, I think that when I've heard this suggestion, then it's just been an inventory slot so that you take the hammer off the end of it.
Yeah. But the next obvious request is that for auto equip during craft.
Fair enough.
Let us not fool ourselves here. And at that point, equipping the hammer is mostly a LARP. But perhaps the hammer could be a weapon as well. But it would be probably a bad weapon, so no one would use it as a weapon, and you never want to walk around with it. So I don't know. I mean, it would make sense to have a little slot on the anvil.
Not like it wouldn't, but
it would make sense. So maybe that's more important than my fear of no one ever equipping the hammer. Perhaps it doesn't ultimately matter that no one ever equips the hammer. Perhaps it's just fun that you can. I mean,
even if it auto-equips, you'd arguably at least have to unequip it manually.
That's not what they would want. I think what you would want is for the hammer to simply be there for you and like visually equip, but not actually move out of the inventory. I think that's what you would want. You wouldn't want to inventory hassle around the hammer.
Perhaps that is what you would want, but this is what you will get.
Absolute mad dog of a developer. Gee, I wonder why everyone on Steam says that the UI is trash. That's so odd given how we're thinking about it. I kid, I joke. You have a point. You're guarding some perceived integrity of the game. You'd love to see it. Absolutely based in cartons. Please make mulch stack. That is actually mulch doesn't stack. That is actually absolutely atrocious. Mulch should stack.
I guess it should stack the same as soil, right?
Indeed. And if it does not, I will soil myself. Dad jokes intensify. But generally speaking, though, I think we could do more with alchemy. I kind of like the idea of having effectively a cattle roster for alchemy, with all your little elixirs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Book of recipes, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty sweet. Ooh, pumpkin flesh does apparently not stack. Could we fix that? By quick fixes, we obviously mean endless list of little things that could stack.
And then I think that's enough stacking for one day.
That's enough. That's enough stacking for one day, unless you have something really clear cut.
I mean, the thing with pumpkin flesh is, there's the
That is true,
butchering
actually.
of the
Yeah,
pumpkin.
when you butcher the pumpkin, you get like one little thing placed in each square, and if you have auto stacking on, then that would be ruined. So we can't have that, I'm afraid. That was a bridge too far. Okay, here. Iron Gaeta says, make trading great again. Barter stand displays 0 left when using red hand on the ground. The green hand is not stacking items on inventories.
When using red hand on the ground. What does that even mean?
Aren't the hands kind of deprecated anyway? Don't we use the little barter stand areas now?
Well, probably, but I think they work similarly anyway.
Fair enough.
It could just be maybe that he means that.
For sure. Cucumber and tobacco leaves should probably stack. Those are good calls. Oh.
And here I thought we had enough, so we had enough stacking for one.
We had, but then good clear-cut suggestions were made in chat. So we were done with stacking. There's actually little fixes that we can make. Cucumber and tobacco. No, pipe weed. That's not tobacco. Pipe weed.
It is indeed pipe weed.
Indeed. Please recall both versions of it. Here we go. Arkandoon says, greetings from a small village by the lake. I really like the game. It's my first world. How else can I support the developers? Have a great Crimbus.
Well, welcome to begin with.
Indeed, welcome. It's fun to have new people aboard. Did you find the game via Steam or some other
or otherwise?
Otherwise. I noticed we actually had a couple of people streaming the game. I don't know what happened to them or when they fell off. But
I noticed one. I saw one of them, and I think he went over to Ashes of Creation. Have you heard of Ashes of Creation?
I have not. Inform me. Red pilled me on Ashes of Creation.
It's apparently some new MMO.
Okay, cool.
It's in play testing right now. Paid play testing apparently. Apparently you pay $100 to play test the game. Based.
Absolutely based. You love to see it.
But it's apparently a PvP focused MMO if I've understood it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it has been. My impression has been that it has been pretty well received by those playtesting it.
Awesome.
With that being said, it does seem.
I mean, they are $100 deep each. So you would imagine them saying that.
But that being said, I've also seen the general sentiment that it is indeed still an early game and that they expect a lot of fixes before it actually.
Sweet. Cypher 007 says, "Are you devs?" Yes, Cypher, we are the devs. In fact, the dynamic duo, Yorb, Loftar. So we are the developers of this game.
Right.
Hence, Crimbus streaming it. So welcome. Nice to see new faces.
Is that short for Crystal?
What now?
Ixtal is the username.
Probably. Hi devs, I'm new too. I knew about this game for a long time, but only now finally decided to battle through the learning. So loving the game so far. Great to hear. I love to see it. I mean, I'm thinking about all the things that we could potentially do to kind of lessen the slope of the learning curve, as it were.
Mm. And again, we haven't been given any firm details, but I do have a slight suspicion that a non-trivial part of the UI complaints in the Steam reviews is just due to people not knowing the various modifier keys and stuff to use with inventory management. Shift mouse wheeling or shift control dropping or.
Yeah, because if you start moving items like one by one using the mouse cursor,
then I would certainly see why you would consider the UI to be clunky.
And so that's perhaps a pedagogical point there about trying to explain those things better.
Mm-hmm.
There is the little help menu which does explain it, but
I have also seen numerous reviews complaining about the UI being too small without discovering the scaling slider, which is a bit unfortunate.
yeah, arguably we should auto-detect the resolution.
Yes, we should, but unfortunately there's no API for that in Java, which is pretty unfortunate.
No API at all? You can't...
There is supposedly one, but it returns the wrong information.
That's weird.
Yup. It is.
Should you maybe bug report that? That sounds like a bug. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, honestly.
but are you unironically telling me that I can't, on Java, query the machine for correct and accurate resolution and stuff?
It's so it does seem. You can query it for the resolution, but not the size. And it does have an API for DPI numbers specifically, which is arguably exactly what we would want. But to my experience, it has always returned 96.
To my chagrin.
Indeed.
Huh. DJ007I says, how good was Start on Stream? Game is more healthy than before. I don't know if the game is actually more healthy, but we started out from higher user numbers, so it takes a longer time for us to fall. So
I mean, I'm still entertaining some hope that it might fall off to a greater minimum, so to speak. We'll have to see about that.
Exactly. Well, that remains to be seen, I suppose.
I mean, I have certainly noticed that. I mean, in terms of cumulative user numbers. Like number of unique accounts logging in per day and that kind of things, we are still above. We are still to this day above what the numbers we usually see on reset nights.
Oh, right, that's pretty cool.
It is. So
yeah, because
those numbers certainly show some health.
Yeah, so because this reset, and I'm sure a lot of you were helpful parts of that. I know a lot of you kind of spread the words on various forums to friends and whatever it may be. We are quite grateful for that. That's very helpful. And to the question earlier as to what you can do to kind of help the game or whatever, like I think spreading the game, telling people about it,
truly.
That's the simplest thing one could presumably do to and like help people play, like invite people to your little village maybe, and be kind to nubs. I think that's something that we struggle with.
I mean, that being said, I have seen multiple reviews of people, echoing the sentiment that, the people they meet in game are actually nice.
Yeah,
and I, clearly you would expect a higher percentage of those who have not had a great experience with those they meet in game to perhaps vocalize those complaints.
For sure.
So there is that. I do suspect that a sizable portion of noobs actually do have a good time with the people they meet, but
I was gonna say, what is the inverse of survivorship bias? Austin224 says, crafting UI for cooking in bulk isn't great. No, I agree with that. You have to manually order your inventory using the last in first out logic, and the same applies to alchemy. Some form of select ingredient system before hitting craft would help greatly. I can't make bulk measured distillates due to the current system. I have to micromanage my inventory. That's a good point.
It is a good point, but I'm not sure what a good solution is, to be honest. I mean,
how would you like that to work on?
Ingredient selection sounds good, but I doubt you would want to manually select ingredients for every time you craft a measured distillate. That would certainly interfere with the idea of bulk crafting that was expressed. So I'm not sure how you would bulk select ingredients.
Indeed. Yeah. But I kind of agree with the problem, because it is finicky AF when trying to craft multiple things.
I mean, to be fair,
especially if you're particular about the exact inputs.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, being able to manually select ingredients for one crafting would be better than nothing. So
yeah, it would be kind of cool to be able to, like, I don't know, click the icon and point to the resource that should be used for the input. That would be a good start, perhaps. Crafting window. Can it be made so that the $15 verification hat is rebuyable? I've seen people balk at wearing it because of hat robbers, and they say they only get one.
I actually have some thoughts on hats and the account binding of them.
Okay.
But I was planning to discuss this privately with you afterwards.
Oh, this is not for everyone's ears.
I don't know, it's nothing really controversial. I just always feel kind of weird discussing anything related to monetization in public.
Awesome. Well, that's not a Christmassy topic, is it? Money and the love of it.
Truly.
Is
The love of money is truly is the root of all evil.
Yes, indeed.
In Legacy World when honestly, I consider Legacy to be a museum, and as such, I think I consider the Legacy World to be a museum as well. I don't even think it would be appropriate to have a new Legacy World, even if I wanted to make one, which I don't, because the Legacy map gem is terribly buggy, and I don't want to bother running it.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
Nope.
What about petrified seashell stacking? Actually, let me tell you about my fun idea, which I'm pretty hyped for. What should be the case is that all the petrified seashells should be of particular rock types. So they should be like an obsidian petrified seashell, and all of them should have their own unique paving textures, so that you can pave with, you know, the image of a seashell nonsense, the way you kind of see sometimes in like marble stairs and such. There can be like inlays of little trilobites and such. So that would be really cool, and then all the petrified seashells would again be of, you know, unique, particular, distinct stone types. Yeah, at that point we should certainly make them stackable by virtue of being stones, which are stackable. So yeah, boom, I'll one up you. I don't know. What we actually discussed the seashell thing, and it would be really awesome, especially if we tied it to like the rarity and hardness of the rocks and whatever, and made the cooler rocks better curios and such. I think that could be kind of cool. Kind of cool. And then you could get like the you're mining out quartz, so you get a quartz nonsense thing. Quick fix: add suckling maws from baby reindeers at Broderbone. Huge if true that they don't.
Deal with suckling maws? Do all the other?
Yeah, all the others give. I'm pretty sure horses give as well. We should add horse milk, by the way, and reindeer milk. I actually looked into reindeer milk, and I actually looked into reindeer cheese. It's apparently a thing. It used to be a thing among the Sami, the Lapps, as it were. They apparently made reindeer cheese, but I don't know that there's like a full tier of variants. I think there's just plain reindeer cheese. So we may have to take some creative licenses. And apparently reindeer milk is also terribly expensive. I googled around, and there was like a chat forum or a forum somewhere discussing it, and I was informed there that reindeer milk was like several €100 per liter. So what would reindeer cheese even be? It would be astronomical. I think that could be an idea for like...
Are you at the end of the world or something?
It would appear that I am, indeed.
Why would reindeer milk be so expensive?
Because they give so little, I think.
Because they give so little, huh?
I imagine that's the case. And because perhaps they're difficult to milk. Like they are out on the tundra and whatever, maybe it's kind of hard to round them up, and they're usually not, my impression, me not being a professional reindeer herder, I would not want to pose in this context as a professional reindeer herder. But I get the maybe that would be my speculation. But one could certainly ask why horse milk isn't more of a thing. Because horse milk is a thing in real life. Like the Mongolians apparently fermented horse milk and drank an alcoholic milky beverage.
There we go for suckling maws, at least.
The original Moloko Plus, if you've seen Clockwork Orange. Have you seen Clockwork Orange?
No, I haven't.
You should see Clockwork Orange.
Is it actually good?
It is actually good. Mm-hmm. It is actually a very good movie, I should say. I really enjoy it. Suckling maws. Oh no. Baby reindeer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, boom, boom goes the dynamite. But that was not one of those. That was one of the actual fixes that we made. A small little fix. So here's an idea I've had. Let me know what you think about this one, chat. Should hearthing home be quicker? Or are we fine with the hourglass delay on hearthing as it is? Ponder. No, 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 no. Yes, no, no, yes, yes, no. No, no, leave it as it is. A lot of cacophony, discordant cacophony.
Not exactly a ringing unison of opinion.
All PvPers say no, all hermits say yes.
And
I could imagine that being the breakdown on the question. So, okay, I won't fiddle with it if it's controversial. It's just kind of thinking about it. That provoked some reactions, at least. People felt strongly about that.
Truly.
Here I was like struggling to get the conversation going, and then just drop a bombshell on them and watch them scurry.
Watch them dump their bricks.
Exactly. Everyone just loses their shizzles.
Remove teleporting in all forms, and there we go.
Yes, because my dream is to play the game as a traveling salesman.
One opinion I've heard this world, but not for reasons that are new for this world, is that teleporting is in fact too easy.
Oh, really?
I've heard.
Have you been having a private conversation with some beep boop LARPer now?
Indeed. But not exactly for LARPing reasons.
Okay.
But rather because I have had the opinion expressed that it is too easy for PvPers to gather their groups too quickly at someone's at a target, so to speak.
I mean, unironically, you can get anywhere through thing walls in like 5 minutes at most. Lol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly the complaint.
Yeah. Yes. Far too easy. Way too easy. Austin, age 24 says, Lunarius, is that you?
It's actually not though, but
Totally not.
I'm also not sure to the extent it is thing walls or vortices that are considered to be the issue, or both, because and I could actually agree. I think that whirlpools are too predictable. I think you should. I think you could argue that they shouldn't be so predictable.
Yeah, for sure. You should have a chance to be swept into the dark underworld in one way or another and have to find your way home.
You know, let me postulate the idea of them just being completely random each time. Would that be going too far in the other direction?
I could be fine with that. I think there's, I don't know, maybe there should be
I
some
don't
chance
quite like the idea that you can just keep whirlpooling away to get you any whirlpool.
Before we lose it in chat, Arun had a nice idea about adding voice, VoIP area chat.
No, he did.
He presented the idea. And I actually floated this idea like a month or so back as well. So you've had a recent discussion on it.
Mm-hmm.
And my take has always been that you guys are not like
we cannot entrust this.
Exactly, like giving whiskey and car keys to a teenager or some other like boomer analogy. So that's always been my kind of initial gut reaction. But thinking about it, like if you can turn it off.
Yeah, if you can just easily mute people,
exactly.
Arguably, it's not a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, in that case, you might actually even be incentivized to not just have hentai porn on constantly, because no one would hear anything you would actually want to broadcast.
Exactly, which is otherwise at least my default experience when playing Haven. Mm-hmm. So I've been thinking that could actually be fun because it would be kind of magical to actually meet someone and strike up a real conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be kind of spooky. That would be kind
I don't know how prevalent it is these days with people actually having mics. I don't.
I think most people have microphones. They are available at computer stores.
Yeah, they are, but you actually buy them.
Yes. I think most reasonable. I think most people have microphones.
Mm-hmm.
safe to say.
They come with a headset indeed, but who uses headsets, am I right?
I Spy 1653 says, "Hi Orban Loftar. I've been playing your game for like 10 years and I love it. Please keep it up. Especially love the food changes this one." Yes,
Cool,
the food changes, they were pretty good, right? I kind of enjoyed them.
I have had the impression that most people seem to agree with them.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. Like,
Yes.
because what we kind of fundamentally did was that we pretty much equalized most things along like 5 discrete tiers.
Indeed.
So pretty much everything in the game. You maybe turn down your beepy boopy sound down?
All right.
Please, damn, shush. So we equalized it along like 5 tiers, and that was pretty cool. I thought that made most food more accessible. It was more, it's more a decision of like what you want to make rather than what you have to make to stay optimal. At least that was the idea behind it. Zadok H&H says, "Food changes were okay, but the sheer amount of food you have to eat to stay on top is ridiculous." Did we actually, is that a consequence of the change somehow? I don't
think so.
I don't immediately see how we changed that.
I can't imagine that.
Has it always been that way? Questing for hunger and salt makes hunger irrelevant. Is that actually true? I don't think that's actually true. I don't think it's true that it makes it irrelevant. Surely.
I mean, at least then you have to quest for it.
Yeah, exactly. You have to quest for it. You have to grind the salt. Remove questing for hunger. I don't know, fam. At some point, it's just like remove questing. We can't have
but perhaps there can be a question of balance, though.
Huh? No. It's autistically either or.
Indeed. And if it is, then it is at this precise level.
Exactly. Either it is perfect as it is now, or no change is conceivable.
Indeed. I mean, it's not like we chose it by wetting the finger or anything.
It was balanced on the finest.
It was Maridos est.
Questing is fun, but hunger is a bit much. The questing in this game has been the worst experience. That's saying a lot. It's been the worst experience you have had. Total. Like, of all the things you have experienced in your life, questing in Haven was the worst. That is, yikes.
That's pretty bad.
Were I you, I would discontinue further questing. I'm kidding. Please, could it be made better? Is a constructive question that I can ask. Are there any ways you can think of which would make it more fun?
I mean,
Talking trees, a tree conversation system.
I think there may be a case to be made that, you know, questing might not be so fun when it's mandatory, quite simply.
Yeah. Is it mandatory? Maybe it is. Maybe chat thinks it is.
I mean, that might be the reason why they don't like questing for hunger. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just throwing stuff out there.
The Didicus says, "I think a more exciting quest reward pool would be nice." Yeah, that is actually 100% true. I think that too, because it's not like you get a gilding leaf and it's like whatever.
Yeah, to be sure. No lie was told.
No lie was told. I think, and arguably, rather than like reducing hunger for that matter, like we could just dole out some bee bread type nonsense instead. That could arguably be more fun. So.
Yeah, for sure, but the argument, we have had that discussion previously, in fact, but argued against it because we felt that the reward should befall the quester rather than be transferable.
Personal. Yeah, but maybe that's not an either or as well. Like maybe some things can be transferable and some things not.
I mean, fair enough.
Arguably, it's pretty good also if like noobs have some way to access something which is good independent of their current.
This is not a false statement.
Because maybe they could trade it or whatever. Can you please revert the bunny slipper, says Colsey TV. Please revert the bunny slipper and Credo speed boost so that the critters slow down rather than speed you up. Critter clicker run meta as late. I hear the cacophony of discordant voices on this
Indeed.
subject. I don't.
It was
I
when
don't
we
have a
did
clear
this. It
signal.
was indeed quite heavily criticized for removing a relevant skill element of combat, and
Yeah.
I can see that being true.
Yeah. Either way, I turn on this, I seem to have my ass backwards, as it were. I don't get a clear, like one thing. I don't know. There's a different couple of questions here. Like one thing that I kind of dislike right now is that bunny slippers are mandatory because that's kind of dumb. That
Yes.
bunny slippers are the only
Yes.
available footwear choice in
Yes.
Haven and Hearth, the game.
Yes.
So one thing that I have thought is to like make some gilding or something which confers the bunny slipper bonus to arbitrary sets of boots. So that could be a thing. But that's perhaps not super material to what you're actually after there with the actual speed changes.
Indeed.
So yeah, I don't really know where to go with that. I mean, I like the bunny slippers speeding you up because being a little bit sped up when chasing is fun, quite simply. So that's my like hermit spruce cap perspective on it, which is obviously not terribly important in the grand scheme of things, I suppose. Remove it from slippers. So many of us agree. Even the hermit side agrees. Well,
The hermit side agrees with what?
with removing the something from
The speed bonus. Okay.
Zadok H&H says the food system is really bad because of the questing emptying your hunger bar. This is why people empty 10 tables at once and don't actually care about anything else other than the satiations. Food gobbling meta burned me out this world, to be honest. So too much food to eat. I mean, I have noticed that I can eat copious amounts of foods, and I haven't even played like super actively since getting my base up and running. So I noticed that I can eat a fair amount, but I'm not sure I immediately see why that is something that should have changed now. Maybe did we change something with hunger and questing? We did not, right?
I don't think so.
So, chat, do you have a consensus on the bunny
I
slippers?
mean, if anything, there might be an implicit change in that. Like, I'm not sure exactly how the numbers played out here, but I would imagine that previously there would have been a lot more foodstuffs that were, that gave you more feps per hunger.
Right.
Than we have now, so people may be gaining more hunger.
Right.
Cumulatively. And that perhaps affects these kinds of
Joktor
questions.
says remove slippers. I prefer not having to use a custom client feature to chase run.
Yes, I think this has been the main complaint really. I know that Ender bugged me to remove speed bust just because he didn't want to add this cancer feature to his client.
I mean, maybe that's a strong enough argument to remove it, I suppose. Maybe you shouldn't have to click bunnies in order to run. So maybe the skill element is actually illusory. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, if it's just a matter of clicking on it as soon as it appears on screen. But
Yeah.
is that really true? Like, I mean, because the bunny could be way off, but maybe you check like a clear cone ahead of you or something, and click bunnies which are, line of sight accessible or whatever.
That being said, speaking of mandatory combat items, one thing that I have brought up several times this world, but that for some reason we have never done anything about. How about Hussar wings?
Yeah. How do you feel about Hussar wings?
I would strongly consider removing the armor from them.
Loftar wants to remove armor from Hussar wings. Do y'all have any feelings on that? Y'all feel anything about it?
They do look cool. I don't mind that people are wearing them in combat. It's just, it seems that everyone needs to wear them in combat.
Yeah, and also capes are way cooler.
Mhm.
But that being said, capes and wings should not be mutually exclusive. I actually defeated a bee queen, and I find it kind of cancerous that I cannot wear my bee wings with a cape. Because it would make a lot of sense.
So what you're saying is wing slot.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying. But the thing is that the equipment screen needs to be balanced. So if we are to add a wing slot, we need to add another slot as well.
Only issue with
Oh no, not another equipment slot. That would be horrible. I can't. That would be so bad.
That being said, people generally seem to agree with removing the armor from Hussar wings. So maybe I should just do that.
If you own all the negative fallout that can come from it and take it upon yourself and don't hold me responsible.
Said and done.
So are we removing armor from? He's removing armor from Hussar wings now, chat. Are we cool with this? Remove armor and make them gildable is what we hear in chat.
Aren't they gildable? Indeed, they aren't.
No, they are not because they are gildable Hussars. No, yes, gildable gloves. Well, no, let's not make them gildable. Let's just remove the armor from them in that case.
Sure,
gildable.
I mean, they should arguably be gildable. It's just
are capes gildable?
They are, sure.
Look. I would assume they are.
Yes, they are.
Okay, then Hussar wings can be gildable. So we'll remove armor and make them gildable. Fine.
It's just a matter of what kind, I guess, of gilding values.
So let's see now. Baby reindeer. Now give sucklings more. Is there a genitive there? Sucklings more or suckling more? Who knows?
Okay, I come to check.
Oh. Expecting me to do anything.
Yes, I know, first mistake.
No such creatable item, suckling moss.
Suck more.
That's what she. Sucklings. They shouldn't be in the. Colsey says, and this is a good point. They shouldn't be in the backpack slot anymore if they can be gildable. Because now you can have two of them. Normally the backpack slot.
Right. Okay. Right.
So maybe not gildable then. I don't know. But they should be gildable. But they shouldn't be in the backpack slot.
Indeed.
So cape slot only. Wing slot one. Removed armor from Hussar wings. Made them gildable. Hussar wings can no longer be equipped in the backpack. Backpack slot. Oh. That was a good change, I suppose.
Just not entirely sure what kind of gilding values they should have. Is it agility and melee combat, perhaps?
For sure. Yeah, what about a new kind of backpack? That's a good idea. I'll add that to the grander scope ideas list.
There we go with Hussar wings.
Sweet. New kind of backpack. That's a good idea. Mole crab dungeon. I'll comment on that later when we drop the patch.
Which perhaps is now.
Which perhaps is now. Yeah, maybe now. Maybe now is a good time. So, chat. Final roll call. Let's give them a minute or two. Are there any other quick fixes you want before we drop the boomstick on the hammer and go for a patch? Because we want to upload the new patch. We have a patch. There's a patch. Did I mention that there's a patch?
Juice press is liftable.
No, it is not.
Isn't it?
No, since some time it is not.
Oh.
I kind of like that it's not.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
it's
Fair
huge,
enough.
so.
It makes sense, but okay.
Almonds for almond milk. Yeah. Isn't almond milk just some seed oil concoction? Or do you? I don't think you actually press almonds for milk, do you?
No, I don't think so. I think it's kind of.
Isn't it the same as like the kind of soy milk nonsense that they have going on?
I don't know. I have had the impression that it's like ground up almonds just mixed with water, basically. But I might be wrong. Not sure.
Huh.
Either way, you don't press almonds to get almond milk. That I am sure of.
I'm pretty sure you don't. It says kill bunny slippers. Kill bunny slippers. People are chiming in. Okay, Thorentis says, hey, display the message of how much travel weariness needed for traveling to a specific charger stone and reduce the amount of travel weariness when traveling by horse with really 4 legs instead of 2. What do you think about this? I don't know, you're kind of using fast travel, so I'm not sure the horse should matter that much.
I'm not sure the horse should matter indeed, but I can see the idea of displaying the amount of travel.
Yeah, and redraw this shitty little icon right up here.
No, I think he's referring to is, you know, when you teleport with the ship, it shows you in advance how much travel awareness will be consumed by the travel.
Indeed, but this is not the case when traveling via thing walls, then.
And we have charter stones in this case, or via thing walls. But I think it is the case for thing walls.
I think it is.
But not for charter stones.
Cool. We'll consider presenting the cost at least. Do not kill bunny slippers. Kill bunny slippers. Kill slippers or riot. Kill. Remove rabbits, leave the slippers.
Well, there's certainly an opinion for killing them.
Kill slippers. Colsey says kill. Joni says kills. Kill. Save slippers. Okay. Felix says don't kill. I see a lot of voices saying kill right now. I don't know if I'm being biased or I don't have like a hugely strong opinion. But look, if Ender is paging you saying that he doesn't want to implement the custom client feature to auto-click rabbits, isn't that a pretty strong case to be made for like the slippers not being a skill thing? Or at least being cancerous.
Perhaps we should at least try killing them one more time and see what the fallout is. I mean, this is basically how we operate with these things.
No. Go one way, go the other way. Okay. Kill bunny slippers, do not kill forage.
Yes, I've heard that opinion from several people, in fact.
But why? Because they want to wear something other than slippers? Because aren't we more enthused by the slippers than by the forager credo in that case?
For large reasons, yes.
Look, it's the Crimbus patch. I'm not sure I want the controversial fixes being dropped, especially when we haven't really discussed them over another time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've considered pushing several controversial resource changes as well, but I've thought I might leave the custom client authors alone on Christmas.
I think we'll defer killing them. I'll take a note here that we should probably kill slippers. and we'll get back to that.
First thing in the new year.
Exactly. Yeah. Super Kive says, make stockpiles hold more as they're less useful since stacking became a thing.
Stack stockpiles.
Stacks of stacks. Infinity stacks.
I mean, all that being said, I personally don't at all mind containers actually being good for anything.
Yeah. Xmolded says, how about adding something new to the game instead of only small tweaks and rebalancing what we have? When could we see some stuff like world type events? An ancient evil is coming to the world and players have to do some quests to stop it. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
I mean, this reminds of meteors. This smells of meteors.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever. Chat hasn't said anything super duper constructive and immediately actionable, so maybe we should just push the patch.
And it.
End it. Boom. Hold on to your horses. I'm gonna. I'm just gonna write some nonsense. With this patch, we will for some R and R over the holidays. Thank you to all who made 2024 the fantastic age year that it was. Year. Okay, I'm just gonna. Are you done? Are you organized with
Well.
the hats?
I have not doled them out. If that is what you want.
No, I'm just. Are you aware that you will be expected to?
Vaguely.
Nonsense. Do. We were chugging away pretty hardcore here in the last couple of minutes to get the final stuff in.
I think it's somewhat fair to say that we may have bitten off a bit more than we could chew in this batch, but I think it's mostly functional. At least it could certainly be improved, though.
Yeah, but it's good stuff. So it's not that, but cool. Let's see. Boom. I'm just gonna clean up the patch notes a little bit.
And I will be walling the server. The server then?
Wall the server. Blah blah blah. Momentarily, chat. Momentarily, the server has been walled. So we are restarting the server for some updates. Up to the dudes. I have pushed the store repo.
Right.
So let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna jump on back to where we left off. Our meandering trail has brought us.
So, what was it? Rudolph, gift wrap wizard?
Gift wrap Rudolph wizard.
Okay.
So we can check out the cool new hats that I made. Here's the Rudolph cap. Pretty ballers, if I may say so myself. Here's the gift wrap cap. Bloop. Bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. And here's the Crimbus Wizard's hat. And there's a little light source out here on the little thing. So, pretty cool. Pretty Crimbusy. Kirshay T says, which sub-tier gets the wizard's hat? The gold tier. So the tiering that I've imagined here is gift wrap, Rudolph, and then Christmas wizard. Psych! No, not psych. No, I actually meant that. Top Mix says new alcohol types such as gin. When? I think we spoke about gin on the last stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if nothing else, we certainly have the what's the name for it again? The distilled plum wine.
Yeah, the one that Poche is always on about.
And I always mentioned it one time 10 years ago. Always on about it.
Literally can't talk about anything else. It was fun to see, it was fun to see all the new people playing during the World Reset, but it was also fun to see some of the old timers. I saw like Avu, Poche, some of the really old hats. Plum wine, cool, yeah. Have you considered drawing normal eyes for Hearthlings? Yes, I have considered redoing the character in multiple ways. But all of them, but I kind of dread making any changes to it. Because it seems that even a small change would force me to go full retard. And
there's certainly the risk of having to redo all the animations, all the clothes textures.
Yeah, those are the obvious ones. All the animations would be the worst one. There's a lot that could be said about the modeling of the character that I would do differently today. Like the cape, for example, is atrocious. So, but I don't. It's not immediately obvious to me how we would pivot to make it better. But I don't know. Arguably, the cape should perhaps just have its own skeleton rather than be a part of the character skeleton. But then you would have to animate it separately for everything. It is nice.
Yeah, right.
To have the animation, or to have the cape movement be integrated into every animation by default. So there's that. So let's see. Hey guys, are you able to make items that are stacked automatically get sorted in their respective pile just the way it works without them being stacks? Get sorted in their respective pile? Like, what do you mean?
I don't get that either.
James 12 says, how is object-controlled objects coming along? It's been a while.
It has been a while, but lately we've been working on other things anyway.
Lately we've been working on other things. I think, at the very least, the Steam integration and whatnot has left L-Dog here working on other things. So it's been resting for some time. Will totally happen though. I assure you of this.
Indoor fireplaces. Hey, Salem and Northwest.
Yeah, Salem and Northwest. No, indoor fireplaces would be neat. And it would be neat if the chimney on the outside of the house could display smoke when the fireplace is being fired in.
You mean the imaginary chimney that is in your head?
Yes, exactly. Or the chimney that one could perhaps equip to the rooftop when building the fireplace. See, the fireplace is also imaginary, only existing in my head, in my glorious creative vision. There, it does reside.
But the suggestion wasn't even yours. You would have never thought of it.
I made it my own. Don't over-engineer it. I just want a cozy fireplace in my stonestead. The chimney can come later. I agree, and it would be kind of nice Crimbus material as well, because we could hang a little sock on the fireplace. And
as you could in Salem.
Santa could come and stuff your stocking full of coal. No, he wouldn't do that. You've been a good boy, I'm sure. I have a fun meme where it's like Santa Claus, Joseph Stalin. It's like both live in cold places, have mustaches, and have naughty lists. Zoziel says, have you guys considered global quests, universal quests that are progressed by all the Hearthlings playing? I think there was a vibe of that in the old system that we used to have, where you could kind of increase the local quality by questing.
Yes,
think there was a vibe of the quest being like intended to be some sort of collective work, great work.
But then everyone hated it.
But that was disliked. So now the entire concept is untouchable and cannot be considered. No, I'm kidding, of course. Yeah, I think that could be cool. I think we've done similar things in the past as well when we've tried to like integrate the Altar of Doom stuff in like the World Reset mechanic and tried to make that a more mechanized thing. So hats are up. I'm gonna read through this and then I'm gonna post the patch notes.
I think I'm pretty much ready to start up.
Yep. So these are the hats. We got gift wrap cap at that price, and that goes to the bronze guys. And then we have Rudolph cap at that price, $7, which goes to the silver subscribers. And then we have Crimbus Wizards hat at $9 for the gold. Sweet. I'm gonna post this.
It's taking some time to dole them out, so if you haven't gotten yours when we start up, that's just why.
Yep. Change to sticky. Let's see. So boom, there we go. I can maybe discreetly slide it over here. Here's the link. I'll drop the link in chat. Here's the link for the patch notes. So yeah, we added rat dungeons. Occasionally, a hole in the wall may spawn inside houses to which is affixed a mysterious nail. Incanting the strange words upon the nail by right-clicking will allow you to enter the kingdom under the floorboards of Ratdom. Plague Maw's chittering labyrinth of cheddar, Gorgobree's deathless nook of villainy, and Renetigan's rancid basement of brie all await the intrepid adventurer. So that's the cheese to see the patch notes.
Did you post them?
Yes.
Yes. So it's all right to start up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm starting it up.
So yeah, the kind of Christmas gift this year, apart from the Yule cracker, is the rat dungeon. Rat dungeon. Booker's 1337. Booker's Leet is private server still considered, like Room Unlimited. Seems like with Steam release, desire for it rose a lot. I don't know. Maybe it could be said that the long arc of history indicates that maybe at some point in the future, far future, I've said this before, every time the question comes up, at some point I imagine that maybe like when we're done with the game or whatever, and when we die or whatever happens, there's a non-zero chance that we would release the game as an open source thing. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. we're not in any hurry. Like it would be a lot of work to make that happen.
It would, but let's perhaps also be clear about the fact that we have at least discussed this idea somewhat seriously.
Yeah, we've talked about it, and I said this last stream as well, so maybe I'm repeating it myself, but maybe it bears repeating that I kind of feel that there are two aspects here to the kind of maintaining of the game, maintenance of the game. One is developing the game, moving it forward technically and such, and the other is kind of maintaining the game world. And if we have a strength, a doubtful proposition to be sure, but if we do, then I would argue that it leans perhaps more toward the development side of the game. We're perhaps not like holding events and interacting with the community and being great stewards of the game is perhaps not our forte. And it would perhaps be interesting to play with the idea that others could do that. So I'm not necessarily entirely opposed to that, but I don't think we're really there yet, at least.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, there are many good questions to be sure, but one that constantly bothers me.
I'll give the caveat right now, since chat is being so very funny, that if any one of us is subjected to a gruesome murder, then the game shall be destroyed. So let's not even think about it. Where were we?
No, I was just going to say that my greatest worry about private servers has always been just fragmenting the player base. I will say I'm for somewhat related reasons, I am looking forward to having these to seeing how these shorter extra worlds that we are going to have will play out.
Yeah.
Because I think some of it relates to that idea. I mean, like my strong suspicion is that these shorter worlds will mostly be inhabited by the PvP crowd more than the LARPing crowd, more than the LARPing and Hermit crowd.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to seeing what they themselves think of the game in that state.
Yep. Wolf King 6116 says, when is the next shorter extra world going to be?
We haven't decided a precise date, to be sure.
No.
But we have said that they will be launched on a roughly 6-month schedule. So that should give you a general idea, but I am emphasizing the word roughly here.
Yeah, we don't really know yet. I think there are a lot of undecided things that we would need to figure out, and there would need to be some form of a content push from our end, I think, to make it fun and interesting to have a new world. So there's that. But that being said, I think we can do something fun with it. We could give the world a theme or whatever. So there's a lot that can be done with that idea.
To be sure.
I'm relatively excited about it.
Indeed, I'm very much looking forward to trying it and see what happens.
How has the Steam bunch treat you? Very, very well.
I haven't really seen a great distinction between the Steam bunch and the non-Steam bunch, I will say.
Felix says, hey, can you make Wizard Hat go into the... what now? Go into the...
Yeah, the Hearthfire, I think is what he's saying.
Okay. Gold subscribers did not get gift wrap cat. There may be a delay.
It's still doling out.
Hats are still being handed out, so don't worry about that. You'll get your hat.
It should be done now, though.
Should be done now. Hussars weren't supposed to be gilded. Yeah. Yeah, I got it now for gold sub. Thank you all for your gold sub support and your regular sub support and your verification support and your buying of hats and your simply playing the game because you think it's fun and for the being on the stream and talking and interacting with us. It is very nice of you, very kind of you, sir. Themed next world would be so sick. Please do it. I didn't manage to get momentum this current world and I felt bad about not being around as much. So I'm looking forward to a second chance in the spring. Booyah, sir! I'll see you there, fam. Make it go into cosmetic slot. Xera3 says God jul och gott nytt år grabbar, ni är bäst.
Men god jul på dig också då.
God jul du med. Ha en riktigt gött julafton och ät något gött. Och ha det bra med familjen. 100 familjen. Så ja. Detsamma. Increased troll spawn nodes. No. Boreworm dungeon spawn increased chance, please. We'll consider. Put a little.
That's funny.
Piggy, that is funny. I was laughing at this. So I need to do one of these as well.
The Steam announcement.
Exactly, because I need to dual wield everything now. Post. I need to manage some events and announcements. I need to create a new game updates and small updates.
Store page doesn't explain. Does the silver tier include all the patch hats or only gold? Not specified, but it should be. The thing is, this is not specified because it's not really an intended privilege. It's just become a custom.
Exactly.
So that's the reason, good sir.
Indeed. So, if you didn't get that, like, it didn't used to be that you got the hats auto-magically at all. It was never intended really to function as a hat subscription service. Mm-hmm. That is what it has developed into, so it kind of is now, but that was not like the original. Originally we just started handing out hats to subs because it felt like a nice thing to do. Mm-hmm. And now I suppose the primary purpose of them is the hat subscription service. So perhaps that should be formalized. But that's the reason why it's not formalized.
That's the reason why, but I would also argue that the reason, another reason why it is not formalized is because that ties us even deeper to, mandates us even deeper to have a hat for every patch.
We actually discussed the hat game a fair amount when we were discussing the Steam launch and whatnot, because the hats. Did we do the thing with the boards covering up the rat hole?
You mean cupboards?
No, boards.
You mean being able to repair it?
Yeah.
No, we did not do anything with that.
The hat game takes a fair amount of time.
Indeed. I have been arguing pretty strongly that George should not spend half of his time every week doing a hat.
This opinion has been presented. So I'm not necessarily saying that I won't. For now, we've apparently kept the hat game up. Mm-hmm. So there's that. But a million little hat images I need to upload here. I'm fixing up the Steam update announcement nonsense, and it doesn't allow me to link outside things, so I need to kind of upload it.
Upload every image.
Specifically to here. Boom. Can I at least do several? Yes, I could. That's nice. So this is one of the things that I maybe don't like about Steam. Arguably, this should be automated in one way or another.
In one way or another, I guess, being the key word, though. Indeed. Yeah. Do we need to post announcements on Steam?
Chat felt pretty strongly that we should be streaming on Steam and that we should.
That's fair enough. But to put that into context, I guess I've been thinking pretty strongly about, because another suggestion has been to display, announcement for updates in the client. Mm-hmm. And if we do that, mm-hmm. do we also need to post Steam announcements?
I don't know. What do you feel, Chat? Like I don't know. It's not like it's the end of the world that I have to go through this.
For sure. But I just don't know about just accumulating more craft for every patch. I mean, nowadays every patch needs a hat, it needs a screenshot, it needs a Steam announcement, it needs social media posting.
We back in the days we did none of this. We didn't use.
We just posted a patch.
Exactly. We just did. There was no effort at presentation or whatever.
I mean, we've kind of come into a place where should we just post these small things as a patch, and it's like, no, we need a hat and we need a screenshot, and we need something big to put in the screenshot, and. I'm not sure all of this is great for the health of the game.
The dynamic is not necessarily great. I agree with that. Feels a little bit dumb. But here we are. I don't know. I mean, I can say that, but at the same time, everyone expects the cool screenshot now. So President has been long established now. Easy Peasy says, "We appreciate all your work. Thanks for everything." Dude, we appreciate you very much. It's very it's crazy that we have a game that people play and care about. I'm humbled intrinsically by that, and I don't know what to say. It's great that you love the game, and thank you for sticking around and
very much
bearing with us
in this weird journey that we are all partaking in.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm almost done here, I think. I think I've replaced all the little images and whatnots with, let's see, we're going to save that, and then we're going to preview the events, and that looks good, and that looks good, and that looks good.
People are saying remove Hussar's wings from characters' equipment that have them already equipped on backpack before the change, but I think this is... I thought this already automatically happened.
I don't think they'll be forced out.
I think so. That's how I remembered it working, at least.
No, I don't think they'll be actively forced out.
That's how I remembered it is working for sure. It's not every day that we remove an equipment slot from something.
They were forced out. I woke up without that. Okay, cool.
So.
That's good. Okay, I think this is good. I'm gonna publish it now.
Yeah, mine wasn't unequipped, but they were in the cape slot. That is true. If you had them in the backpack slot previously and with an empty cape slot, they would have been moved to that. That is definitely true.
What the fuck are you doing? Putting cheese in a dungeon? It's Chainlink doesn't like that. We'll see. What else would be in the rat dungeon? The rat dungeon. So cheeseheads stay losing. Why are rats more advanced than me? We'll consider the levels of it and whatnot. Don't you worry about it. It'll be fine. A little bit of cheese in the dungeons is fine, I think.
I think that's not going to kill anyone. I also really honestly doubt that cheese is better than bee bread anyway.
Yeah. Oh, there should be a perk for killing the you-know-what.
Right. Eventually.
But that could be just added later, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna add a perk. Forgot about that one. We'll fix that. Ra says, crap, I missed the stream, but we'll rewatch once it's uploaded to YouTube. Just wanted to say I love you guys, no homo. Been here for 13 years and have no plan to leave anytime soon. Keep up the great work and have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year.
Love you too, no homo.
No homo. And thank you. That's awesome that you've been with us for so long. 13 years. Dang, son. It's actually 2025. The new version of Haven turns 10.
Right, that's true, yes.
Because we released it in 2015.
That's pretty crazy.
And 2027, the game arguably turns 20 in its entirety. So we've been on this
this weird train.
the ride just never ends. We've been on the trip for, it's like, took LSD once and then just in the 60s and then never stopped tripping balls and now it's soon going to be the 80s, and here we are. It's fun stuff. Thank you for being with us, sticking with us for so long. Hope many years. Hope to see you stick around. Zixprox says, thanks for your work, guys. Thank you, sir. Man, it's so nice to have you here. So nice to be interacting with all the hearthlings, as it were. Would it be possible to implement trade carts and wagons that can be deployed as barter stands with only their inventory for sale and then be able to... A trade cart would actually be a lot of fun. It would be fun, quite simply. I don't care if it's useful or not. It would just be fun to have a little, vendor cart that you can push around.
Arguably.
It would be kind of fun, right? Like a little vendor stand.
Would it effectively have internal buying and selling inventories or what?
I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. Well, we'll think about it. But just a vendor stand on wheels would be cute.
Yeah, but I mean, if you just put a vendor stand on wheels, then you'd have some trouble with where the stuff goes and comes from, and those sorts of things.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, Chad. I think that's actually a great idea. I like it. Visitor buff will be removed from dungeons, so rat dungeon kills market, right?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, that's a good question, I guess.
So you would lose the visitor debuff on entering the dungeon.
Yes, that's probably true. Yes.
Could we reapply it when you exit the dungeon?
No.
We'll consider a fix for that one pretty immediately.
I mean, I think it can be managed as long as you don't have rummage permissions. You can just put a cupboard in front of it or something, but then you would have to monitor your houses for rat holes for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, keeping people out of houses is obviously the easy fix, but that's at least the security implication that needs to be drawn attention to.
Make it so that if you have the visitor debuff, you can't go into the dungeon. That's an idea.
That's an idea. We could make that fix.
Should I just make it a... or I could just do as you said and apply the visitor buff on exit and basically treat exiting the dungeon as a gate.
I think both could be fine, to be honest. I think you'd want both fixes in that case. Like do both.
You think?
Yeah.
If you can't enter the dungeon with
suspenders and the belt.
I think if you can't enter the dungeon with the visitor buff, then there should be no reason to apply it on exit.
Theoretically, but better safe than sorry, you know?
Well, I mean, perhaps, but at that point you can just apply visitor buff at every step. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I just imagine kind of like if you can't enter the dungeon with visitor debuff, then you might have some sort of issue with, pursued people fleeing into their dungeons or something.
Yeah, but if you, I mean, there's also the inverse case where okay, the dungeon was not claimed when I entered it, but now it has become claimed since I entered it, and blah 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 blah.
Fair enough.
I think I think there are some. And I'm worried about the edge cases that I don't know about. I think basically asserting on exit that you have the visitor debuff or get the visitor debuff makes a lot of sense to me.
Fair enough.
So we do both fixes then. Did we agree on that?
Is there a reason that you're not be able to enter the dungeon with visitor debuff?
Not really, I suppose.
Indeed.
So, and you're sure of the integrity of the fix where we reapply the visitor debuff when you exit the dungeon?
Integrity insofar as that
it actually works.
Yes.
But first you said no. Why did you say no first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked the question, like, can we reapply the visitor debuff when exiting? And you said,
Yes, but I thought of it as specifically reapplying, whereas now I'm thinking of just applying.
that was a distinction that was not present in my mind, but sweet.
Yes.
Okay, so we reapply the visitor debuff when exiting the dungeon. Good catch. We apply the visitor debuff when exiting the dungeon. Worried about that one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, but that should go for dungeons generally.
Yes, I was also just thinking that.
Yeah. So when you exit a dungeon, we should check for visitor debuff and apply it if applicable. Or does that make it more complicated?
No, I was just thinking, is it actually the case? Like, if someone has just claimed the beaver dungeon, should you get a visitor debuff just for being in it?
For exiting it.
For exiting it, yes.
Arguably.
Arguably, perhaps. Arguably.
I think the negative consequences of that are less
enough.
destructive than the negative consequences of the ultimate.
Fair enough.
Did you already discuss what happens if someone is in the dungeon and the house is destroyed?
That's a good question, actually. I thought of this during development, but then I forgot about it.
I think it would be nice to transitively destroy them to first boot them out to the house.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that isn't indeed already the case. Not sure. I'll verify that.
We're going to be verifying that. Vernis says, we've been raided via B dungeon because the attacker lost visitor debuff there. He entered via flag gate before his bug, and yeah, worried about that one.
But that was last world, right?
No, I don't know, maybe this world.
Right, because I think the fix for that was to have B dungeons not spawn on claims, but perhaps they had a B dungeon and then claimed it.
Some such. This world, it doesn't matter what world.
Yeah, well, it matters if it has already been fixed.
I think the fix makes sense under any circumstance, that when you exit a dungeon, we apply any visitor debuff that pertains to the area. It's great that we have chat. Boop-de-doop-de-doo. So where were we? Get whirling soon.
Get what?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm just reading chat. Can we see? What's the console command for spawning the dungeon? Again?
MK dungeon.
Somewhere in the walls of this room, a dark presence stirs. The squeaking from the walls is nigh unbearable, and a mild scent of aging cheese hangs in the air. Did we spawn it behind a wall or something?
No, that should be prevented. Oh, perhaps if anything, if it might actually spawn behind the door.
No, it's actually over there.
Ah, indeed. I thought so. I thought that shouldn't be the case.
I should perhaps verify, but it's good that we got lucky this time. So here's the hole. So I'm going to turn on the sound first. You probably want to have the sound for this. Can you hear the game sounds from the little guy walking around? Bloop, 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 bloop. Chat, can we hear the sounds from the guy walking? No sounds, it's fine.
I can see it on Ray on your.
Oh, that's
your
right. I
meters.
have a little meter down there. Audio output capture. Okay, whatever. Well, you'll find out for yourself. I need not fuddle around with that right now. So, Chilivippen, and then Cruel Buzz. No, this dungeon is generated with the old. So we didn't get a rat name here. That was a bee name, but oh well. So we're in a rat dungeon right now. So, and the door is over here. And this is the old stuff in general. No, this is not updated. I haven't updated the server. I need to update the server.
I think rather you haven't generated a new.
But I also haven't. No, that is true. But I also haven't pulled the new hot codes.
Ah, right. Indeed.
Let's see if we can redo that. We'll do a little redo to get something cool. I'm just gonna make the server here. But the idea is that you touch the little nail and then you become small and can enter the rat dungeon. It's funny. Do I need to make anything to update due to the dungeon generator? Or?
No, I don't think so. I should have done that.
Okay. I'll make another one then. See if this works better. I need a new house. Or maybe
No, you can just eat it.
Oh, eat the rat dungeon?
Indeed.
Yeah. I'll try again. Chilivippen. Rabiduda's basement. That's more like it. But this is still the old tile set.
In that case, I think you have not pulled the server correctly.
Oh, man.
Why would that be the case?
I don't know. I got the new cool name. Maybe I had queued up a generation or something. That could be the case.
Yeah, that could be the case.
That could be the case.
But that shouldn't affect the tile set, in fact. And indeed, since it had a rat's name, it shouldn't be.
Try it again. Chilivippen. Muckwhale's Black Morgue of Death. We got one on the main floor. Yeah, they can spawn on any floor. Yeah. The chat was asking if they could spawn on any floor.
No,
I
yes,
explained to chat that they can indeed spawn.
But the reason I'm looking confused is because I looked at your server and you are indeed running the latest code, so I don't understand why you're not getting the latest treatment.
Robertson says, what AI did you use to generate names? The magical random case list, which... what is the intended difficulty of Rat Dungeon? I think we discussed it as being in between bee and beaver, maybe?
I think we discussed it as being...
No, in between ant and bee.
Ant and bee, indeed, but it might be that... It might be that it ended up between bees and beaver dams.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you to go through the attributes with you before you patched, in fact, but we never had time for that.
There might be some adjustments needed. We were pretty tight on time to finish the dungeon at all, so we'll be transparent with that. But it's pretty cool, right? You become small. Right? Some good ideas there. I'm gonna generate another one. So, yep. Well, are the rat dungeons going to be noticeable on the minimap or something for houses with... There was the sound, by the way, when you become small, if you missed it before. Noticeable on the minimap or something for houses with cabs in them, or do I need to clear my walls? You get the experience when seeing the dungeon, so that should be some sort of notifications. Cupboards do not kill rat dungeons, I don't think. Or do
no, they don't spawn behind cupboards.
They don't spawn behind cupboards, so cupboards are effectively useless now?
In what way?
No, but you only need to leave like one tile free, right,
And they-
to be able to get a rabbit
Yes.
hole. So maybe leave one tile free and you should have a chance. So we were gonna try another one. Mm-hmm. Blutigen's hopeless cranny of villainy.
I mean, to be clear, the tile set thing is not a part of the generation anyway. That's entirely server side.
So maybe I didn't pull the resources?
No, that shouldn't be the case either. I actually don't get why you don't get the latest treatment right now.
That's awfully weird, sir.
It is.
They're supposed to have a different tile set, so they're not supposed to look like that. So we have to move our cupboards. No, you don't have to move your damn cupboards. You need to leave one wall tile clear in front of one tile of wall, and you should have some chance of dropping a dungeon.
Hey, you haven't restarted your server.
Right. Okay, now. Oh, what a year! I need some Christmas vacation. I can tell you this much. Okay.
Oh.
What's the order saying?
No, I was just wondering why the visitor buff didn't work correctly, but now I figured it out.
So this is live and unedited development you guys are experiencing. This is a true privilege. Oh, let's see if it works better now that I've actually restarted my server. Chile Vipta. Ah, Rodent tell us Black Warren. That's more like it. So, so this is more what the dear Lord intended. So you can see there are some nice things here that you can get to discover for yourselves, and we're gonna leave it at that. Cucumber doesn't stack as it says on patch notes.
Oh, was I supposed to implement that?
Yes, we agreed.
Did we? Oh.
Yes, we did.
Well, I guess if we're starting anyway.
Did you do it for pipeweed?
Oh, yes.
But not for cucumber?
I might have just forgotten it then.
So, chat, apart from me being a little bit tired, this has been a lot of fun. And we are coming up on the 2-hour mark. So we'll stick around until we've made all the new cool adjustments that you helped us with. We are very grateful. That was a good call that you could lose the visitor debuff there. I didn't consider that. So yeah, we're going to be wrapping it up here before too long. We'll restart the server with the security safety nets in place. But yeah, what a year, what a restart, what a or server reset. It's been a lot of fun, and again, incredibly grateful to all of you. So if you have any like final questions and whatnot, then feel free to shoot. Chihuahua blah 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 says, God bless you guys. May God bless you too. Vern says, can you fix mammoths so people won't use Palibug? I encountered a mammoth hunting camp, or what I perceived to be a mammoth hunting camp, on my main character when I was gallivanting about. And I assumed that there was a palisade there for trapping mammoths. To be perfectly clear, I didn't just hate it, because they kind of built this little infrastructure in the mountains from which it was evident that they were hunting mammoths. So I didn't just hate it. It was somewhat aesthetic, but I understand that it feels kind of gamey that they trap the mammoths in palisades, because I assume that's what you're referring to. So the question would perhaps be what the fix should and ought to be.
There, I have walled the server for shutdown.
Sweet! Sempit69 says, are you pro or anti Luigi Manglone? Never heard of her, sir. I actually have. It's the guy who some insurance company executive.
Right, I heard vaguely about this.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
get
now
the
he's an
thing.
internet celebrity.
I didn't
I
get
think all
the-
the ladies are swooning over his chiseled jaw and such.
I see. I didn't see. I didn't understand what the big deal was. Don't insurance executives get killed left and right?
Ought they not? No, we take a firm stance against murder. I think. So I'll be clear about that. That's my Christmas message. We're against murder. Boopity boop. Yeah, exactly. The Kindle says that's the way mammoths were really killed, by using traps. It's historically accurate. Yeah. I mean, he's not entirely wrong. I don't think a lie was told. I don't think that you actually go into manly combat with mammoths in real life. Because
Well, not with that attitude.
not with that. Can you make duck hat quack sound much louder?
No. I think it's the safe answer to that one.
I made it quite intentionally with a low volume and low frequency. Glee Wonklack 7 says, amazing game, you guys keep up good work. First stream in 10 years that I've managed to join. Thank you,
Good
sir.
job.
Good job on you and on us, and yeah, thank you for being here. Why new hats are not first in the order in shop? Because I didn't want to rearrange all the patch or all the hats and lose the order, and because I did it in a bit of a hurry, so I didn't have too much time to think about it. But now it firmly is what it is. So apologies for not ordering them beautifully. Cardboard Thief says, I love winter. Can it be longer? Yes, it can. And
It
probably
can.
should.
In fact, it can.
In fact, it can. Yes, because now it's like a blink of an eye. So
Well, I mean, it also used to be longer. So
yeah,
there's
it
that.
used to be longer, but that was not popular. So for good reasons, it was not popular. So I think there were, but we have made some adjustments with the mulch beds and such. So I think it could deservedly be made longer now at least.
There may be a case to be made at least.
I honestly want it to be longer now that mound beds exist.
Sweet.
So do I. I think it makes. I actually enjoyed winter mildly. At least I thought it was low key fun. I don't like it ruining my crop fields though. So, but mulch beds fix this problem, I suppose. Thank you so much for everything that you have done for us in 2024, and I hope that we can use the trust that you've given and placed in us with this current world reset, and with all the joyous news that we've had from the game, the user numbers and the engagement and everything. We can use that and steward it in the coming year to keep making the game better, hopefully, and
To make the game great again.
to make the game great again indeed. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, that kind of thing. Bunny slippers, revert the revert of the revert of the revert. Who knows what 2025 will bring. I'm here for it. Under any and all circumstances, I will be here for it, and he will be here for it. And you should also not forget the reason for the season, because right now it's Christmas. Our Lord and Savior was born relatively soon, many years ago, and you should spend some time meditating on that, because games and such are fun but frivolous, and there are more important things in life ultimately. That being said, a little frivolity can also be a wonderful spice in life. So from all of us to all of you, a very, very Merry Christmas and
And a Happy New Year.
and a very Happy New Year. This has been a lot of fun. Catch you all in 2025, and thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Bye.